Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shemel Shai Brakatham, to all the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shamar, Alatham Bashemel Shai, to all the sisters, all right? I Ishkate, Minnesota, with the Lashawan Qadash class. Today, well, first things first, I'm gonna let a few people get into the class. Just give me a second here. Yeah, for those that are watching, go ahead and sign in. All right, do understand that your attendance does matter if you are a student. All right. Otherwise, let me see. Okay. All right. So today, we are going to go over uh, transliteration. Okay, as far as the scriptures. Last week we spoke about the body parts, which I'm going to touch on again because there's some more important pieces to body part that I want to hit on another time. But as far as the transliteration with the scriptures, we are going to use actual scriptures, right? I mentioned this last week, and actually show you how it looks in the Hebrew, and get the key word, the key word or the key message out of that precept. So not necessarily breaking down the entire scripture, just picking a important piece to get the importance of that scripture, and then just breaking it down in the Hebrew. All right. Also, too, this is pretty much just a introduction to what we are going to be doing later with the Hebrew words that I gave last week on the board. I believe we had about maybe 16 Hebrew words or whatever. So I'm just going to show you examples, and we are going to do that throughout the entire class, okay? So otherwise, if anybody has any questions or concerns, go ahead and ask in chat. Otherwise, let's get into it. As we always start off the class, of course, we start off with the alphabet, Lashawan Qadash alphabet. All right, okay, which is very important. Always, what we are going to do is start off with this, because some people may mispronounce, or may not know how to pronounce the actual Hebrew. So if you see a word in Hebrew and you know that it's Hebrew word, right? You need to learn how to know how, let me back up a little bit. You need to know how to pronounce it correctly, okay? Like if you see the word okay, I'll say a big one is k, right? K is a word that a lot of people can sometimes mess up, all right? And they may say cha. This is not English, this is Hebrew. It's not cha, it's k, like k, all right? I always use the example of Captain Katazar. Katazar. All right? Katazar. So it's gonna be k. But this right here, this is Ka, which is k, right? So it's k, and then this is more emphasis, more pressure, k. All right. I always like to use an example as well, like if anyone has Somalians in your city, right? Somalians are still Africans, but the way that they talk, it almost sounds like the way they talk, it almost sounds like they're about to spit a loogie. You know what I mean? Like they're about to spit or something. The way that they it sounds like a lot of noise when they speak. You know, I mean, if for those that been around Somalians or grew up around Somalians and things of that sort, the way that they talk with a lot of pressure with their words, and it just sounds like something is backed up in the pipes of their throat. If that makes sense, all right. So anyway, so you want to put more pressure on this letter versus this letter. That's what I'm getting at. So let's break it down, all right? Okay, all right. So right here, the first letter we have is okay? We have right? Or let's just say or yeah, because like for example, the word that I will use for is ayundabar, all right, ayundabar, which is pretty much you're welcome, okay, ayundabar, ayundabar, you're welcome, right? So now we have the ba, okay, so ba as in ba. Now let's see, I'll use the word but nah. But nah is the ba, the na, and a th. But nah simply means daughter in Hebrew. Otherwise, give me a second here, Salakia. Get out the way. All right, good night. Good night. Wait, let's go. All right, so you have the ba, right? But nah is going to be daughter. Otherwise, ban, right? Ban. BAN is son or from, right? So when you speak about your registry, someone asks, you know, what is your name? Like if a man is coming up to do the Sabbath service, right? You would say, you know, someone will ask me, what is my registry? So my name is Maccabia Ban Yahwadah. I'm giving you my name. Ban meaning from my tribe, Yahwadah, which is Judah, right? Ban Yasha'ala, and I'm giving you my nation, who I belong to, where I'm from, who, like, you know, where's my, you know, I'm giving you my lineage. You know what I mean? I'm giving you my, once again, my registry. All right. So yeah, Ban Maccabia, Ban Yahwadah, Ban Yasha'ala. So Maccabia from the tribe of Judah, from the nation of Israel. Okay. So now we have duh. All right. Duh is going to be, and actually, yeah. So this is duh, right? Okay. Duh is going to be DA. All right. So speaking of DA, you know, we got a brother in Chicago by the name of DA. That's his nickname, but otherwise Debar Math, right? So Debar simply means word. It means word, speak, say, or I believe command. All right. So duh is going to be this right here. This shape that looks like a triangle, but it's not a shape necessarily. But to most people in the world, it looks like a shape, but it's really not, right? Duh. Duh is actually a symbol, all right, which is a letter in the Hebrew. Okay. So duh. The bar word, right? Now we have right here, next is going to be the huh. H-A, huh. All right. And the word huh, by definition, H-A, simply means the or the. All right, T-H-E, huh. Now we have wha, right? This right here that looks like, you know, a Y or otherwise like a little pitchfork, right? This is wha, all right? W-A, wha. And by definition, wa actually means and, A-N-D. In Hebrew, all right. We have z, okay. Z, it looks like a Z, Z-A, z, all right. Trying to think of something that starts with a, you got a few words, you got a few words, you got Zaquan, you know what I mean, you got Zarak, all right. Now you have k, right? K, 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 all right. So CHAA. CHAA is ka, ka, ka. All right, like cactus. Next we have this called ta. Also, too, once again in Hebrew, everything goes to goes from the right to the left. And in Esau's language, who is our oppressor, is always going to be left to right. And I always have to repeat that every time, just so it's not confusing. People would think that this is the first letter, starting with the alphabet when it's not. Thinking that this is the last part, the last letter of the alphabet when it's not. It starts from right here and it ends right here. Right to left, okay? All right, you have ta, all right? Let's see. I'll give you a good example. Tarak. Tarak means in Hebrew, tear to shreds. All right, that's a powerful strong man. Okay, I'll give you another one. Tawab. Tawab is a word that means good. All right. All right, next one, we have the ya, right? Y-A. All right, we got ya, okay? Let's see. The word that starts with, there's a lot of words that start with ya. Let me see, what's that one word? Oh yeah, yapa. Yapa is a word that starts with ya, right? That means beautiful in Hebrew. You may see a lot of sisters with that name, Yapa on social media. All right, it simply means beautiful in Hebrew. So with our next one, we have the ka, right? So ka, K-A. All right, ka. Okay. All right. And ka also can be used as a prefix or a suffix. All right, in Hebrew. Now we have la, which is L-A. All right. Now la, right? La actually means two, as in T-O, two. Like when we say La Yashala, okay? La Yashala, La. La Yashala, all right? La Yashala. Now we have, which means to Israel. Now we have Ma, M-A. All right? Now, a word that starts with Ma, Mayam. Mayam means water in Hebrew. Now we have the Na. Okay? Now, a word that we learned about last week, last Friday, right? Na'a. Instead of saying la'a, which is no, na'a is now. N-O-W, now. Now we have sa. S-A. Sa. Sa. Like sapar, right? The word sapar by definition means book. We have I. It's simply I, right? For example, ayun. Ayun. So the I, the ya, and the na. So the ya and the na is connected. So ayun is technically by itself, and that means I in Hebrew. All right, I in Hebrew, like the actual eye on your face. Now moving on, we have right here what is pa. P-A. Pa. Pa. P-A. All right. Let's see. Let's starts with pa. Pa. Let's see. what's that one word? Let's see. All right, I'll use it in a word. So shapat, shapat, right? You're gonna see this right here. So you got the sh, the pa, and the ta, right? But the pa and the ta is gonna be connected. So the sh is gonna be by itself. So shapat, so pa. So you still hear the pa, but it's connected, so it kind of sounds a little different. So pa, all right. You have taza. You got a lot of words with taza. Let me see. Let's see. I want to say, like, for example, like we did have a word last week. I want to say something about phone. Let me see. Yeah, Tazarab. Tazarab means burn in Hebrew. Okay, Tazarab, right? That's for example. Now we have Kwa. A Q and an A. Kwa. So for example, Kwam, right? Kwam, by definition, means rise. Okay. Next we have Ra, which looks like a 4, but it's not. The number 4, but it's not. You have Ra. Let me see. Oh yeah, Ra'ah. Ra'ah means sea in Hebrew. Okay. Ra'ah. Ra'ah. So you got the Ra and the Ah. Ra'ah means sea in Hebrew. Or otherwise look as well in Hebrew. Now we have the Sh. All right, the Sh. Shamar. Shamar. Okay, Shamar, which is watch in Hebrew. Now, lastly, the last letter we have is the, right? So T-H-A, the. Let me see. There's so many that are in Hebrew. Oh yeah, the water. That's simple enough. The water is thank you in Hebrew. The water. Thanks or thank you. Okay, that's what that is. All right, so just so we want to go over that, so this is what we are going to do every week, just to make sure that we know how to pronounce it. So you have the the the. All right. Oh, you know what's like? I forgot. Good night. I forgot the this one right here. So like for that, moving on a little fast. That's the G, right? Slovakia. Moving on a little too fast. All right, so the G is right there. So G as in let me see. I want to say the word is gar. Gar means sojourn. I want to say sojourn meaning like you journey to somewhere. All right. So Abba Gada Ha Waza Ka Ka Taya Kalama Nasa I Pataza Kwarashata. Okay. Once again, if you repeat it like that a couple of times, turn this to your own little song. All right. So that way you can remember it, get familiar with it. You know what I mean? All right. So moving on. Once again, I want to get into a few different things, or one main thing, but I'm going to mention some other stuff as well. So bear with me. All right. All right. All right. Cool. All right. So once again, I did speak about transliteration. And with this transliteration, we are going to pull up some precepts. Okay. Give me a second here. Let's see, where are you? All right, here we go. I'm sorry, Chris. Okay. All right. All right. So once again, we are going to get into pretty much transliteration. So we are going to have a precept, right? And we are going to put it into the Hebrew and translate it into the actual English. So you know what it's saying, and to make sure that it makes sense. All right. And some of the words that we used from last week are going to be in here as well, maybe one or two. Okay, but this is once again just like a warm up, just to show you what we will be going into next week. And also, too, when it comes to Hebrew words, I have to say this as well. When it comes to Hebrew words, if there's not a word for something, we can always create a word. But that's a very long class to get into to understand, I would say the science on how to create a word for a word, if that makes sense. Okay. Otherwise, usually, you just gotta be realistic. If if you see certain words in the Bible, there's gonna be a Hebrew word for it, right? Let's say, like, let me see. You may want to know the word. What is cat in Hebrew? What is dog in Hebrew? What is horse? Just certain things like that. Cup. Just anything I think of, glasses, camera, or just anything. You know what I mean? Just some random. You know what I mean? You can also look it up in a Blue Letter Bible dictionary. I'm sorry, Blue Letter Bible .com. Okay. Otherwise, Two Letter Lookup as well is a good one. So yeah. So anywhere where there's a concordance of the Hebrew when it comes to the actual Bible, right? If there's like a search engine to where you can look up the Hebrew, that's where you can find that. So you look up any word that you want to see if it's mentioned in the scriptures, and then there should be a Hebrew word for it. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. Let me see something. All right. So this is what we're going off of. All right. So this is what we are going to be going off of, Jeremiah 5 and 12. Chapter 5, verse 12, all right? 5 and 12, all right? 5 and 12. Okay. Yep, Jeremiah 5 and 12. All right, yeah, Jeremiah 5 and 12. All right. All right. That's it right there. That's the Hebrew that we're focusing on for Jeremiah 5 and 12. Okay, so now understand that Jeremiah 5 and 12, if you already read it, right? There should be a lot more Hebrew than what is on the board. Understand that we are just taking a portion of the actual scripture and focusing on one main point of what the scripture is really talking about. That's why after we solve this, we are going to actually go into the scripture and look at it and see that it matches up. Okay? All right. All right. I'll give you all a second for that, real quick. All right. Yep, damn right, sis. Damn right. Okay. Hold on one second, Salaki. As far as the very first one that you posted, sis, uh, it's the I'm up. There we go. All right, there we go. No sweat. No sweat. You got it. You got it. Most High in Christ. You caught it. No sweat. No sweat. All right. Okay. So since we got an answer already, we can go ahead and just go over it real quick. All right. So once again, so really how I write, I could write starting from right here, but I write right here. I kind of write it out backwards because of the space. You know what I mean? I'm conscious of the space. So I'm still learning how to write it out right here and make sure it's Tawab right there as well. Okay. But anyway, we're going to start right here. Okay. All right. So also, too, we are going to be dealing with prefix and suffix as well. Okay. Prefix and suffix, which is very important. All right, so we can break it all the way down so it matches up with the actual precept. Okay. All right. So, so we have the wa right here. We got the wa. We have the ya by itself. We have the by itself. Now we have these two that are connected. You got the ma and the ra, right? So since it's towards the end of it, right? The A is going to drop off from the ra. So M-A-R. And then lastly, you have the wa again. And this is going to be by itself. So you have W-A, right? I'm going to get into the prefix and the suffix in a second. So that way it's not too confusing. Right here we have the la by itself. And we have the by itself. All right, la is how you say that, how you pronounce it. And the reason why this dash is right here, it's just, you know, in the Hebrew that's what you might see. All right, that dash is right there, it kind of separates it. But otherwise, keep it moving. The ha is HA by itself. The wa is by itself, and so is the How you pronounce that is hawa'a, hawa'a, right? Hawa'a. That's how you pronounce that. So I'm gonna break down what each word means, but first we need to get into the prefix and suffix. Okay. Let's see. All right. So now I'm gonna use a different color, which is red, so it's not all jumbled together in one color. Boom. So a prefix is something that's always previous or before, right? This is going to be a prefix. This is a suffix in this context, all right? So we have waya. Waya, so the wa and the ya should really be separated as well. So I'm going to do that right now. So let me just, right? Really all this should be, well, yeah, these two should definitely be separated, but it's up to you if you want to separate it or not. Otherwise, wa means and, right? A and D. Ya means he. Okay. Amar. Amar is very similar to the word debar. And I'm gonna show you. So yeah. So Amar is say, command. Actually, let me write that differently. 1 second. So Amar is say, said, right? Or command. Also, too, there was a sister a long time ago in the school by the name of Amar. You know what I mean? But there's another portion to her name. You know what I mean? I believe the name was beautiful. Yeah, beautiful thoughts. All right. You know what I mean? So yeah. Mm-hmm. And what? So since this is a suffix, right? That looks like an O. I just want y'all to understand this is a suffix, right? Suffix. This right here is a prefix. Okay? All right. This suffix means he as well. All right? It means he. Okay? And also, too, let me see something real quick. This he right here is actually a little small e, by the way, so like it for that. That's a small little e. This is a big e. There's a big difference. Okay? When you have bold letters, just understand that it's saying something. It's saying it's kind of like a statement. Like when you see in the Bible, when you see Lord, right, in the Bible, Lord, right? Now you may see that, but then when you see Lord, in most cases that's talking when it's big bolded letters of Lord. That's usually talking about either the Most High, I believe Yahweh Shai, and in some cases, otherwise like authority figure. Same thing when you see God, right? You may see God as in the form of talking about men, because the word God is just a title that means power or authority, right? So when you see God in big bold letters, God, that's speaking about the Most High, right? So that should just give you an example. So this is talking about someone in particular. This is just he, he said this, he said that. But he like the king said this and he said that, right? Okay. All right. So la'a, which means no, or not, which is really the same thing, no or not. Okay. Hawa'a. Hawa'a is kind of still more of the more exaggerating and more elaborative of this. It's still he. This is more exaggerating the point, like right here. You feel me? So Waya Amarwa, right? That's how you would break it down. La'a Hawa'a. Now this is what we are going to do. We are going to get into the precept or select the scripture about this, right? Let me go ahead and grab this chair real quick. And let me go ahead and pull it up for you guys real quick. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Y'all give me a second, bear with me. All right. So let's see. All right. Oh, by the way, to the sister Marakapath, just want to say, good work, sis. Good job. Also, too, as far as last week, right? As far as that word leg, I'm gonna get back to you on that, okay? So yeah, I got you on that. Let me see. All right. I'm gonna share this to the screen. All right, so it looks like everyone can see this. So what we see right here is Blue Letter Bible, right? And this is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 12. And it says, they have belied the Lord and said, it is not he, neither shall evil come upon us, neither shall we see sword nor famine. Now, if you read Jeremiah the 5th chapter, I highly recommend it. It's a very good chapter. I mean, really, the entire book is really amazing. All right, very very much amazing. So now the whole point is that when it says they have belied the Lord, right? Notice that we are not using the entire scripture, just a portion of it. Okay, so the word belie just simply means, fail to give a true notion or impression of something, or try to, disguise or contradict what someone is saying, so to speak. It is not he, and that key word is not, all right? Another key word is he. Neither shall evil come upon us, neither shall we see sword nor famine. Yeah, you want to be careful, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, don't worry about it, sis. No sweat. It's all good. Hey, go ahead and take your time, all right? You got plenty of time because today we focus on something else. So I might most likely will bring it up for next week, okay? Because I do want to get into the Hebrew words, and I want to touch on a small thing about the body parts as well. Just wanted to add a few more words to it, okay? Otherwise, you are too wild, no sweat. All right, so moving on from that, right? So we read the precept. So reading that precept, we're taking a portion of this, okay? So what is this saying? We have three words in Hebrew that we just wrote down. So what does this all say all together? Like, how can we just put it together? All right. So simple as that, right? As the precept was, it's pretty much in the he as the big bold letters, right? The he is talking about the Lord. Once again, that's what I mentioned, how that's important. When it's H E, when it's bold letter like that, that's speaking about someone in specific. Okay. So what it's going to say in a nutshell, right, is pretty much, okay, you know what? All right. Hold on, Salaki. Yeah. All right, here we go. We got it. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right. So it's right here, right? Pretty much it's saying, he said not. All right. He said not. And really, we could use, you know what I mean? So that's a translation. He said not, right? Um, we could use the entire precept, but I'm just giving you the basics and just getting straight to the point. This is us getting straight to the point. He said not, right? And actually, that's how we talked. That's how we talked back in the Hebrew. I always use the example. We never say sit down. We would say sit. So sit in Hebrew is yashab. Or we won't say stand up, we will say stand. Aimad. Aimad means stand, right? Um, Aimad yum. Aimad yum, right? It's pretty much everyone stands because it's plural. You're not speaking to a singular person, meaning one person, you're speaking to everybody. Okay. Same thing with yeah. Just sit yashab. Uh, let's say that you want to say imagine you telling somebody, hey, let's walk to the store, right? If you want to make it simple, or let's go for a walk, you would say halak. Halak is ha, the la, and a ka. So halak, right? Which is walk. You know what I mean? But of course, there's a way to say let's go for a walk, or let's walk. You know what I mean? But just it was straightforward in our language, and who still kind of has that spirit of how we still speak. I would have to give it to Gad. Gad kind of still talks in a way where it's more direct. It's not a whole bunch of words to explain one thing or two things. It's simply like, like even in the different languages, the bastardized languages that the native Indians, so-called native Indians have in their tribes, just being what's the word? They're being enslaved and things like that. So they think that, based on the tribes that they, come from, that, this is the real true language when it's not. Ojibwe, for example. I remember learning a little bit of Ojibwe when I was in high school, and simply just seeing how direct it was. So that example is what we do right now. Okay. All right. So moving on. All right, let's keep it going. Keep it going. All right. So yeah, this is it right here. He said not. Okay, that's the translation. He said not. All right. So meaning people lied on the Most High's name, so to speak. Okay. They said that the Lord said this when He did not say that, and because they believed in that, or because they told that lie, they also believed that the Lord was not going to meet them as a man. And what that means in the scriptures, where it says the Most High will not meet you as a man, meaning He will not meet you in person with His physical form, because He's too powerful for you to handle to see Him. You would die. So He is going to give you plagues. That's why I said no sword or no famine. The Lord is going to bring you COVID-19. The Lord is going to, show you that weapon. You might get shot. You might get hit. Now the word sword in the Bible doesn't always necessarily mean an actual sword. It just means a weapon. Okay. So, all right. Anyway, so yeah, he said not. So the Lord, they said that the Lord said this. The Lord said, hey, He said not. The Lord did not say that. Like, for example, Christians say all the time, hey, as long as you pray, as long as you pray over that pork, it's going to be good. Who said that? Oh, the Lord said it. Where's that in the Bible? You can't find it. That's what you said. All right? You're going after your own lust. Okay? So let's keep it moving. That's just a, a example, if I may. All right. Let me see 1 second. I like this one right here. All right. So we'll do that one. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. Now we're going to get into Psalms or Psalm. Oh, Lord. All right, so it's going to be Psalms chapter 24, verse 1. All right. All right, Psalms chapter 24, verse 1 is what we're going to be doing next. Okay. Yep. This one's not really that long. It's just simply straight to the point. Okay, yeah. All right. All right. So it's 2 words. Okay. But although it is 2 words on the board, right? It breaks down to multiple different words as far as the meanings. And let me go ahead and pull up that precept. All right. Once again, we are going to use a portion of the scripture, not the entire word for word from the precept or the scripture, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I see you got an answer, and that looks to wild actually. Most High in Christ. I like how fast you are with the Hebrew as well. That's good. That's good. That's good. That means that you're studying. So that's good. That's pretty fast, pretty sharp. That's wonderful. All right. So right here we have the la. Oh, actually, should I do it? No, I'm still doing the flat. So we have the la right here, which is by itself. L-A. We have the ya. We have the wa. Or sorry, the ha. So yeah, the ya, the ha, H-A by itself, right? Now this is where things change a little bit. We still going based off the prefix and the suffix. We have the wa and the ha. W-A, right? H. The A is going to drop off because since it's connected, it's going to be towards the end of the word. So the A is going to drop off towards the end of the word. Okay? Understand that these are letters, individual letters, right? But all these letters create one word, but towards the end of the word, this has to drop off. It cannot stay. Otherwise, there should be a little hoop like this underneath, right? And that's called a open parenthesis when a letter is by itself, or a singular, meaning it's by itself. When it's plural or a closed parenthesis, that's when something is connected. If anybody needs me to break that down more in the future, I would be glad to do so. So, La Yahweh is the word. Moving on to the second one, right? We have the Ha, H-A. Okay? We have the by itself as well. Then we have the Ra, which is by itself. And we have the Tza by itself. Okay? So this is going to be La Yahweh Ha-Arataza. Let me see. Yahweh, which is the Most High. We only say the Most High's name, his actual name, when it comes to teaching purposes only, which we are in class. Otherwise, we say the Most High to refrain from using his name when it's not important. You don't ever want to use the Most High's name for any silliness. You know what I mean? If you're not teaching somebody about the Lord or anything like that, or, you know, if it's nothing serious, don't mention his name. Simple as that. Okay? You want to be very careful. All right? The Most High's name has a lot of power to it when you say his name. Even demons flee at the sound, even demons flee at his name when you say it. Okay? All right. Ha-Arataza, right? So now, this is where we get into the prefix and the suffix. Okay? Okay. All right. Got the red back out. Go ahead and separate this. All right, so starting off with first word, La Yahweh. La, right? We spoke about it just a second ago earlier. It means two or four, right? But you got to think about context when it comes to this precept or the scripture right here. Psalms 24 and 1. Two or four. Yahweh is the Most High, so I'm going to abbreviate it. The Most High, or it means Lord, of course, right? Lord. Okay? The Most High or Lord. Or the Lord's name, right? The Lord's name, okay? Lord's name. Alright? Okay. Alright, now we have Ha-Arataza. So the Ha simply means the or the, however you want to pronounce it. The or the. Arataza, you know what I mean, means earth, land, or simply country, all based on the context. Boom. Okay? Earth, land, or country. So, La Yahweh, you got the whole breakdown, Ha-Arataza, right? Let's go ahead and read the precept, and let's figure out what this is saying. Alright, let's get it. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, got that. Yeah. Okay. Mhm, mhm. Oh, yeah, small. All right. Good night. All right. Um, okay, no sweat. No sweat. We got it. Then we got it. All right. Here we go. Let me make sure this audio is on as well. There we go. All right. So we have Psalms. We have Psalms chapter 24, verse 1. A psalm of David. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. So this is simply just a precept or a scripture showing, or pretty much getting straight to the point to show that the earth is the Most High's, right? You know what I mean? And we should all understand it because He is the one that created the earth. So the things that He has created is His. Just like, for example, we are the Most High's children. Another thing that you got to think about too, although you may have your own children, right? Yeah, you may have your own children. You may have your mother, your father, your siblings, and things of that sort. They all still belong to the Lord because the Most High is the one who created them through people, if that makes sense, right? Because sex being marriage, um, sex can bring life or death, right? Children, people come through the earth through sex, right? So just think about that for a second. The earth is the Lord, so everything that the Lord has created, it is His, and the fullness thereof. So the things that are in the earth. That's why I use that example. The fullness thereof, the animals, the people, uh, um, you know, uh, um, nature, the bugs, so on and so forth. The world and they that dwell therein. So the things that are in the earth and the earth itself. So the things that dwell in the earth and the earth its actual self, the Lord, that's His. So with that being said, what this is saying simply is, so you can say it a lot of different ways if you choose to. Okay, you say it a lot of different ways, right? If you decide. Oh, okay. All right. 1 second. I hate when that damn marker goes out. All right. All right. So you can say it any different way that you choose. It's pretty much all going to say the same thing. So the earth, and also too, you can put in what is called fillers, right? Filler word, okay, so that people can understand. It might not be up here. Like you can put as to, is, that, has, like you can put in those little filler words, but otherwise the earth, or yeah, the earth is the Most High, or yeah, you wouldn't necessarily say Lord's name. You say the earth is the Most High. All right, it's the Most High's, I should say. All right, so like you can write it out like this.